back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
Hello there everybody, it's Joe here and welcome back to my F1 25 driver career mode. I know these keep taking something of a backseat, okay, but they are coming, okay? More of them are coming and we are still doing it and we're going to keep doing it. Right, we're at round 6 now at Miami. If you haven't seen the last one from Saudi Arabia, do be sure to check that one out before you see this one. It was an unexpected good result at Saudi. Callie Mayer made history by becoming the first woman to stand on the Formula One podium. And it was just a mad weekend overall. It didn't look like we were going to score points, but we did. But now we come to the Sunshine State. It's a sprint weekend, so big opportunities to gain good points. We get through the first 2 sessions of sprint qualifying pretty well, actually. And we were in by a good couple of tenths of a second, so happy with that so far. Then it's into Q3, and I'll be honest, with the car the way it is at the moment, I'm not overly confident in Q3, and I was low-key tempted to maybe try and leave a spare set of softs for somewhere else later in the weekend, but then I thought, nah, let's go for it. Let's see how far into the top 10 we can put this car. It is a relatively decent car, but unfortunately where a couple of others have had upgrades before us, they're pulling ahead, so we need to step it up with the upgrades and make sure that our upgrade pace is still holding strong. But for now, we're doing alright, and it's P9 on the grid for the sprint, just behind Jack Doohan. I'll take that for now. I'll take that.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday and he'll start from pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Piastri, Tsunoda, Callie Mayer and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Doohan, Joker and Lance Stroll, Leclerc, Bortoleto, Isaac Hadjar and Russell, Jackson, Hamilton, Alex Albon and Andrea Kimi Antonelli, Gasly, Hulkenberg, Lawson and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
All right. 10 laps in this sprint race in Miami. What can we do with them? We are underway here, and it's a good start by us. Piastri not away so well. Ocon trying to go to the outside. We've backed out, and now we're going to take the run round the outside. We've got a good run on Doohan. We're going to go down the left of the Alpine driver, and we're going side by side, but Doohan, I think, has just got the momentum to hold it. I'm still going for the inside line, though. Nope, got to back out of that one, otherwise that is going to be damage to our car, and that we don't want to be doing damage on lap 1. Still got a few to go. We're going deep there. I've never really got to grips with that corner, and it is a bit of a skill issue. I do need to practice that corner a bit more, so yeah, my big weakness on this game, that one corner. Anyway, we're now attacking Jack Doohan, 4P8 down the back straight. Doohan's trying to cover, and on the right is Lance Stroll. We're nearly going into the wall there. I'm trying to outbrake the pair of them. We do outbrake the pair of them, nearly outbrake myself in the process, but we've managed to take P8 and move into the points for this sprint race. But Doohan is going to come back at me here, no question of it, down the main straight. Callie Mayer's up in 6th. She's got Ocon to be dealing with. No, she's fighting with Fernando Alonso. Meanwhile, we're fighting with Jack Doohan. We're going down the inside of him. That's a good move, but the Mayer and Alonso fight, that looks interesting, doesn't it? Lap 2 coming up to the little chicane there. We're going to have a go at Ocon down the straight. We've got the momentum now. In that second sector, we're just something else. The car feels really good there, but in sector 1, forget about it. Anyway, Ocon now goes to cover. He's now got the inside. We're going to take the main line, brake a bit later, and Ocon, well, he didn't really fight that in the end. He had the inside line, but there wasn't really much he could do to cover us off. As we move into 7th place, Max Verstappen setting the fastest lap of the race, and no doubt pulling away. Now we can see the Alonso Mayer fight happening. This is Callie Mayer going after the wily old fox. Fernando Alonso, you are not going to scare him off easy, but Mayer makes easy work of him and moves up into P5. Fernando Alonso, P6, directly in front of us, but they're swapping places again. Every lap, they're swapping places. Mayer and Alonso just having this ultimate battle, and every time it's bringing me closer, and I'm just watching it happen as they're going wheel to wheel. Now I've got a good run, and we could potentially take Fernando Alonso here and just ruin his day a bit more. Down the inside we go. Nothing he could really do about that. And now can we ruin Mayer's day? Not if we hit the curb like that and nearly go round. And in fact, in doing that, we have given Mayer she's cleared DRS because of that. That was a little bit of a silly mistake. Otherwise, we might have had the chance to get within our DRS. Now Fernando Alonso's coming back at me, and Fernando Alonso is coming back past me. Not what we wanted here. Can I get back past him in the braking zone? No. We do give him a little love tap at the back of the car, just to let him know what we think of that move. As we now head on to lap 8 out of 10. Mayer and Alonso, oh, they're battling again. You cannot separate these two. It's just mad. All race, these two have been fighting each other, and we've just sort of put ourselves in the fight as we have a look down the inside of Mayer there. That's just going to compromise us both. And now Fernando Alonso, thanks to that, has got the DRS, so we're now going to clear Callie Mayer on the left. She's not letting this go easy, but we're going to try and outbrake her into the hairpin. That's what we've done. Mayer hanging it out around the outside. She's not done with us yet, but I've now moved ahead, and she might now try and have a run into turn 1, which is exactly what Mayer is doing. She's going to have a go down the inside. I'm trying to cover Mayer down the inside. We're on the outside, banging wheels, but so far still holding it for now as we head into sector 1 for the 9th time. 2 laps to go here at Miami, and we're just about holding on. We've got the rest of the straight here. Mayer's on the right. She's having a go. She's got through, but I can do this under braking. Diving it down the inside. Mayer hanging on, but I think she's going to take us here. I've been forced a little bit wide. I also made a mistake getting on the throttle just a little bit too early, having to brake there so I don't clatter the wall. And we're now going to set up a DRS attack on Callie Mayer. This is a great fight, isn't it? With 1 lap to go in this sprint race. Who would have thought this is just a sprint race here? We've also got an issue with our DRS, actually, speaking of. It's not working, so we're having to overtake Mayer just without the DRS. This is a nightmare for us now. But we're going down the inside, and we're side by side with Callie Mayer as we start the last lap. Remember, she's got DRS. We have a DRS issue, but that's not going to stop me going for a dive bomb down the inside of turn 1 as we begin this final lap of this sprint race. 1 more straight to hold everybody off. Can we do it? Mayer's trying to go to the inside. We've covered her. Here comes George Russell as well. And here comes Charles Leclerc. 3 drivers trying to get past us, and we just see the lot of them off. Nope, you guys can have your own fight. Mayer went from fighting for 6th and has now lost 2 places in all of that. So in us covering Mayer off, that allowed Russell and Leclerc a run on Cali. But now we've got to try and cover off George Russell on this final lap of this sprint race. Verstappen's won it. I don't care about that. But we're now going to try and cover George Russell down the inside. We have covered Russell. Oh, outbraking ourselves just a little bit there. And Leclerc gets ahead of Russell. And they're now fighting each other. But it's going to be P6 for us. 3 points in the sprint. Not a bad afternoon's work. P6. I don't know what more we could have done. We were fighting Cali Mayer right to the end. Maybe we could have had Alonso as well, if not for a cheeky little send at the complex. We could have been fighting for fifth, but I think once Alonso started getting up the road, he was way too quick. Verstappen wins then over Lando Norris. Oscar Piastri is third. Yuki Tsunoda is fourth. Fernando Alonso getting fifth. We get sixth. Russell gets seventh. And Leclerc gets eighth, with Cali Mayer and Gabriel Bortoleto rounding out the top 10.
Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
Ready to do it all again then? It's time to qualify for the feature race, and the heavens have opened in the Sunshine State. Who would have thought it was even known as the Sunshine State with the way the rain is falling? But we're going to use this again to get some running in the wet, because at the moment it's very much my Achilles heel on this game, both in driver and my team career mode. So I'm trying to learn more about the handling in the wet and how we can combat wet weather days and end up doing better when the rain arrives. Oh, that was a bit of a slide there. The one thing I have learned is that you absolutely have to stay on the racing line, otherwise you're just gonna lose a bucket load of time. So that was one thing that I've learned through doing career modes on my team. Unfortunately, at this stage, at the time of recording this, I was still struggling with it. But look at that, Q1, Max Verstappen is out. That's a shocker. We made it through. Ollie Behrman topping Q2 at the moment. Go on, Ollie. Ollie, Ollie, Ollie. Oi, oi, oi. Anyway, enough of that. We're now going through the second sector, and the track really starting to dry out now. The rain is easing off, so I think we will have a dry Q3. But looking at the times, we're doing all right, and I think this should see us through quite nicely into Q3. And it does. P5, no complaints there. We've got Oscar Piastri out, we've got Antonelli out, and Fernando Alonso, who went really well in the sprint, so a few shocks in that session. But Q3, in full dry conditions. Oh, the lap was really good until I did that. We were genuinely looking at, well, I would have said about 5th or 6th maybe, given the pace we were running. But unfortunately, damaging the front wing like that does cost you, especially going around the final corner, as it's a tight hairpin. Look at that. Look how much slower we're having to go through there with the damage. And we're even getting understeer there. So, yeah, unfortunately that has cost us a little bit. I feel like we could have been in the running for a 3rd or 4th row. But it's P10, still in the top 10. And I think we can do well here. So, let's do this. This is the Miami Grand Prix.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the National Football League outfit, the Miami Dolphins. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 3.36 miles of track. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Yuki Tsunoda lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Mayer, Stroll, Charles Leclerc, and Russell, Lawson, Behrman, Joker, and Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Doohan, Pierre Gasly, and Bortoleto, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Max Verstappen, and Aiden Jackson, Hadjar, Antonelli, Albon, and Lewis Hamilton rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well,
right, let's see if we can push for another points finish in this race. Good luck.
The sun has come back out at the Sunshine State, and we are ready for a Grand Prix. Let's get this race underway. It's a good start, a good initial jump off the line. Russell's a little bit slow. I'm trying to go between him and Lawson, and we're now going to the outside, potentially moving it. No! We've gone into the back of Callie Mayer, and we've got a little bit of damage on the front wing. We did thread our way through Russell and Lawson, and we were looking at moving up into P6, but then we just overcooked ourselves, hitting what I think was Callie Mayer, and now Lawson's forcing me off the road. He's hit me twice. He banged into my side going round the first sector, and then he forces us off there. Lawson very aggressive in this early stage, so not only have we got front wing damage, we've got a little bit of side pod damage, just to add insult to injury. I don't know if the floor's taken any of a hit as a result, but we're now in P9 fighting Behrman for 8th, but we do have a chipped front wing, so how good are we going to be through this stint initially? I have no clue, but luckily this is going to be a relatively short stint as we're on soft anyway. This is Behrman now overtaking Liam Lawson for P7. Go on, Ollie, stick it down the inside. Yes, lad, well done, Ollie. And he is up into P7. Now we're going to attack Liam Lawson for P8 if we can find a way through. Lap 1 completed, Lando Norris leading the way. We're going to have a look to the inside of Liam Lawson. In fact, he's just going to make my job that much easier by locking up and going completely wide. And thank you very much, Liam. I will just relieve you of that position. And look at Behrman stretching his legs. He's got clear of DRS threat. But this is the sector that is absolutely horrible if you have damage. And look at the time loss already. We're losing 3 tenths, half a second, 6 tenths of a second in total to Ollie Behrman just through having that damage alone. And it's going to be very difficult to fight off Lawson and Alonso for P8. We're going to have to go to the inside to cover. Lawson trying to go around the outside. We're going to break a bit later. We're going to try and force the issue a bit here. We have forced the issue a bit. Lawson not coming through on that time of trying. However, next lap, and we've got battles going on in front. I don't know who or what, but Russell's having a fight with someone. It's Leclerc, and now we're heading towards Sector 2. Lawson not able to get past this time either, so we're holding him off nicely. And we have got a yellow flag. I'm not sure what that's for. I actually think that might be Lawson slowing down. So Lawson potentially with a car issue that is going to take him out of this Miami Grand Prix. That's not the circuit, Joe. Come on. I know you got front wing damage, but at least try to steer that corner. And the safety car has come out, so that's something of a saving grace for me, because it means we can take our pit stop, take a new front wing, and hopefully not lose too much, right? Right, so let's pit in, let's get these tyres off, let's get the new wing on. Nice one, jobs are good, and oh no, there's a Sauber blocking us. There is a Sauber blocking us in the pits. Oh, that is annoying. That is annoying. We had to wait for Bortoleto to leave the pits because Hülkenberg had blocked us in. And we're now down to P17. So yeah, that initial plan of pitting and not losing too much time because of the safety car, well, that's out the window, isn't it? Lap 5 of 29. We're underway again on lap 6, going into lap 7. And first things first, I want to go at Pierre Gasly. So we're going to have a look down the inside of the Frenchman. And that was pretty straightforward, wasn't it? He did not fight that in the slightest. Next up is the Mercedes of Kimi Antonelli in 15th place. How easy is he going to be to take as we head into the fast section of corners for the first time since the safety car? And I'm trying to use them to catch up with Antonelli. Braking for the left-hander, going on to the main straight now, which isn't really a straight, but it's still... It's a high-speed part, okay? It's sort of a straight. As we go down the inside of Kimi Antonelli, a place that I utilise for overtaking in my team career mode. Antonelli's not having any of that. He's come back at me, so now we're going to have to try and do it on the straight. Antonelli goes to cover. We're going to take the outside. Nothing he can do there as we brake late. Yes, there is. Antonelli brakes even later. He's fighting this one every step of the way. Side by side we go. Oh, a little bit of contact there. As we're now still alongside Antonelli. Just give it up. And he does give it up. And we move up into P15 in what has been quite an eventful Miami Grand Prix. Next up is Esteban Ocon in the Haas. And we're going to send it down the inside of one of our favourite overtaking spots. Ocon fighting that one just as much as Antonelli did. And we're now going to use the DRS to help us out. Antonelli's having a go at Ocon as well. We're going to go 3 wide into the hairpin. Who's going to win out? We're going to win out. I nearly outbraked myself in the process, but that's not the first time I've done that this weekend. And we now move up into P14 with Gabriel Bortoleto up next to be overtaken by us. And we're going to try and get a run on him round the outside here. That's an ambitious one. Have we got it done? No, Bortoleto holds on. Doing a good job to hold on there. But we're now going to go down the inside of you. And we're going to take the position. So we're moving up the order ahead of Bortoleto. But he's now got to run it. It's not easy to overtake round here. And here comes Esteban Ocon as well, giving me even more of a headache that I didn't want. I'm trying to limit how much of the battery I use as we now go down the inside of the lot of them. Bortoleto still there. I'm giving him the room, but eventually he will have to succumb. And now it's P13. Next up is Jack Doohan in the Alpine. Can we get past him on the main straight? Let's have a go. Catching him, getting ever closer and closer. And this is going to be a dive down the inside. Can we pull it off? Oh, bit of contact there. That's a bit of a naughty one. We're around the outside of Doohan, but we have made that work. Up into 12th place. We're now just 2 places away from being back in the points here. So a race that has gone wrong, just starting to come to us a little bit here. Unfortunately, these medium tyres are not holding up particularly well with all the racing I've done in them and all the aggressive overtakes. Doohan's now got the run down the straight because he has DRS. I'm going to try and hold him off, but Doohan's gone straight down the inside, moved up a place. No worries, I'll just up and under you and retake the place. Now I've got DRS. You can watch my rear wing as it drives away from you. Although Doohan has now been passed by Ocon and Bortoleto. And Ocon is now coming past me and taking P12 from me. So Ocon, he's really quick at this moment. And we're just not, as the tyres are starting to struggle. And we're just, yeah, we're losing tyre grip. And now here comes Bortoleto in P14 behind us, no, in P11, sorry, behind us, as we've had a few of the one-stoppers start to pit. So we have got a few one-stoppers in this race, and they're pitting now. We've now got Bortoleto attacking down the straight. Nothing I could do there. Just look at that, the sheer momentum he had. he was coming through one way or another. So Bortoleto moving his Sauber up the field. We're dropping back, and I've got to try and go at least another 2, maybe 3 laps if I want this strategy to work. It's becoming quite a miserable day here at Miami at the moment, and that's Yuki Tsunoda fresh out the pits. But I'm not worried about him. I'm more worried about trying to get back past Gabriel Bortoleto. Somehow the tyres just about holding on enough to keep us within range of attacking Bortoleto. But the problem is you got Yuki Tsunoda out right behind us on fresh tyres. I'm not interested, Yuki. Stay back. Yuki is not interested in staying back. He's having a go down the inside of us. I'm trying to hold him off. We're going to go side by side round the right-hander here. And look at the run Tsunoda has. I've left space down the inside. He's hit me. And we've gone into the walls. Cheers for that, Yuki. Thank you so much. Here, I'll let you know what I think of it. But we've now got front wing damage again. So we're going to have to pit again. Here comes Alex Albon down my inside. Alex, what are you doing? Just, you know what? Go on through. Just go. Just please, for the sake of my race, do not pit this lap. Oh, I give up. I absolutely give up with this race. Albon has pitted, but I can't stay out another lap with a broken wing. We'll just lose tons of time. So I've had to just let this happen and double stack. But Albon, oh, that's just made things a bunch worse. And now we're pitting in. We've got to wait for him to retrieve the wing, which he does. And we end up back out. But, yeah. If you're wondering how this race can get any worse.
Wow, that
yeah,
was a heck of an impact. Let me
that,
know you're okay.
Essentially. That. And that just sums up the race we've had at Miami. If it could go wrong, it went wrong. Disaster of a day.
And here he comes. It's all go, go, go for Lando Norris as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
Well, are we looking at a champion in waiting today, Crofty, with that kind of performance? They were driving with the kind of lack of pressure that you quite often see when a driver knows. They just know within themselves that that championship is within their reach.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these three have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris.
Well, admittedly, I didn't need to fight Tsunoda so hard there, but I was trying to get after Bortoleto. I was running my own race. But, yeah, we got 2 into 1 round there, will not go, and we ended up coming off worse as a result. But it's a win for Lando Norris. Tsunoda gets 2nd, Piastri 3rd, Leclerc 4th, Hamilton 5th, Russell 6th, Verstappen only managing 7th, with Calimere 8th, Alonso 9th, and Albon still securing a point for Williams. So not a total loss of a weekend for the team in that respect, I suppose. But just a day to forget for us. It is unfortunate, but you know, sometimes things go wrong. And in the case of that race, everything that could go wrong did. Lando Norris dominating the standings at this stage. 46 points clear of Tsunoda. 59 clear of Verstappen. With Piastri in 4th. Leclerc and Russell 5th and 6th, Hamilton 7th, we take 8th, and then Alonso and Gasly complete the top 10 in the standings. So at least we're holding on to 8th. We've still got a good haul of points from the first few races. The momentum is good. We just need to make sure that that momentum retains the pace it is. And in the Constructors, Williams still holding on to 5th. And we do have a bit of a gap to Aston Martin and Connor Sport. So not a real threat at this stage. Well, thank you for watching this instalment of Driver Career Mode. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new and you want to see more content from me. And until the next time, I have been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care and enjoy the rest of your day.